So here we are, Market Lavington, Secret Vault, out on a bike, and as you can see it's a snowy day, so I thought it'd be a nice thing to take you all up on a hill where you can see the view with the snow. Now some of you might be saying, hang on, snow, ice, slush, not a good time to be out on a bike, and you would be right, but I wanted to film it, so yeah, needs must and all that. But it's not that advisable to go out on snowy days on bikes because yeah, they don't have four wheels and they can fall over when you slip. But nonetheless, let's have a look at this hill. Now this hill starts at about 89 meters altitude in Market Lavington, and it gets to 190 meters, so it's about 110 maybe meters, sorry, so that would be 300 feet. So it's quite a steep incline. May not look it, but it is a fairly steep inclined hill. So this is where the you can see the snow starts, and yeah, it definitely gets a lot more interesting. I should have probably let a bit of tyre pressure out, some air out of the tyres to get a bit more grip, but yeah, I just jumped on and went, and yeah, it is sliding a little bit. You can feel it going, but it's very important to keep your balance when you're trying this stuff, because it does get crazy, and you will see an event later on which was not exactly intended, and made me think, yeah, it's probably time to go home. But for the moment we seem to be managing to get up there. We're keeping a constant speed, but I'm not going too fast because I know if I come off, I don't want to be doing a hair-raising speed, because it probably would throw me. Oh, it's much nicer now doing the voiceover for this with my cup of coffee though. It's bloody cold out, it really was. And you can see some cars stuck. There's a Land Rover there getting ready with a rope to pull somebody out, because there is no real traction for vehicles, especially just one-wheel drive vehicles. Four-wheel drive you might have a chance, but seriously folks, this hill, yeah, you are slipping and sliding, and don't know whether that car was left there because it was just too unsafe to drive it down the hill, but I know that there was another car that was abandoned at the top of this hill for, well, it's been there for about a week. It was still there last night. So it is a bit hair-raising, and I had a little incident where I came down, well, I was trying to get up this hill in fact to take the dog for a walk, and I thought, well, I'll chance it, and I just wasn't getting any traction, so I just came to a halt. And when I came to a halt, the car started going backwards and the brakes weren't working, and it was going for a slide on its own down the hill, and I kind of steered it a little bit as much as I could, and it ended up in one of these hedges on the left. The back end was sort of stuck in the hedge, and then I tried putting it in forward, first gear, second, nope, just wheels spinning out, couldn't get out of it. In the end I managed to just burn through into some tarmac underneath and kind of pull the car out and very carefully slide it down, but in a more straight line, and got it back to where I could turn around. But this has got gravel on it, so it's a lot safer once you get up on the top. Yeah, but it's a nice day, but it's just a little bit misty below, so you can't see too much of the valley. But yeah, it's a nice little area this, in the snow. But I thought, why don't I try something different? I've got my bike, why don't I get out my little mini drone, which I don't use a lot, so why don't I just take this for a flight and see whether it can follow me. So here you see the little orange box, which has been custom made. It's a 3D printed box, and it houses the Mavic, so I can safely put it in my pocket without squishing the drone. So it makes it a lot more portable than the case that DJI give you. So I can put the controller in one pocket, the drone in another pocket, and then I can really take it out with me. But yeah, I wouldn't want to just put the drone directly in my pocket. It'd probably squish the blades or something, you know, wouldn't be good. And plus there'd be a lot of dust. Yeah, not a good idea. So I thought, well, let's go up the hill with the drone, but with a twist. Because these little drones from DJI, they don't have any of the clever modes to allow them to follow you when you're moving or walking or riding, or to track you visually. You know, they don't have that mode. However, there's a piece of software called Dji, and Dji does allow you to have these functions which DJI didn't want you to have. So I thought, right, okay, what if I put the controller in my pocket and drive the bike, and then the drone will follow me? You see where I'm going with this? However, you have to keep the screen on and active when you're doing this. Now, of course, putting something in your pocket or putting something with an open screen, you're inviting danger, because the screen will push selections, because it'll think your finger is pushing something on the screen. So yes, we don't want anything happening when we've got it in my pocket, so that software takes care of that. But let's see if we can take the drone off from the seat of my bike. And it's balancing there a bit precariously, but let's see whether it'll take off. Yep, come on. Any day now. Here we go. You know it's going to happen. There he goes. Ooh, slid back a bit, but yeah, we got it airborne. So let's take the drone flying now and test out these functions where it will follow me and see what happens. Ah, yes, so very successful. Quite nice. Managed to shoot that stuff really well. So I'm probably going to use that more again in the future, so watch this space. It's not something I'm normally well famous for, is B-roll, you know, taking a camera and putting it somewhere to film me doing what I'm doing. You know me, I'm just a FPV person. I just film what I'm doing rather than filming me film what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so let's have a look now at what happens when you try to take an enduro bike down a quite a steep hill that has ice on it. We're okay on this bit because it's got gravel, but the moment that road turns to the right, you're on tarmac, and that is a whole different world. Oh, here we go. Test the brakes. Oh, oh. As you can see, test the brakes. Didn't like it. Keeping it in gear just to keep the back wheel moving a little bit. But, oh boy. This is very, very sketchy, trust me. This is really sketchy, and you're going to see in a minute when it goes wrong. Way up, oh, bike's back end still, was still skidding then. I couldn't control it. And it's like,
sketchy.
Very sketchy.
Very sketchy. Fucking hell. Alright, mate.
So I'm trying to just inch it down now, and every time I try to brake, front brake or back brake, it just kind of locks up immediately and just starts skidding. So I really don't have any control over what I'm doing here. It is completely out of control. So I thought, well, let's try and go back up. Oh, skidding. So I had to straighten it up. It just wanted to go sideways. And you see, I was just kind of forced off to the edge because the edge was the only thing that was going to kind of stop me. So it's like, can I turn the bike around and go back up the hill? Because there is another way that's flatter to get back down to normal. So let's see if I can get the bike round. Okay, turn that bike. Come on, back end. Come on. Oh, see the front end skidding? Front end is just skidding sideways. Back end is skidding out, won't give me traction up the hill. So whoa, skidding. Back end's just skidding out. Front end sliding sideways. I mean, what do you do in a situation like this? Do you try to go forwards down the hill and skid? Or do you try to get up the hill? It's just skidding. There's no traction on that back wheel at all. I can't get it to move. It's like, what do you do? Oh, better wait for these guys to go past.
Yeah, it's not having it, is it?
So just try and burn a bit of ice off there, get a bit of traction. Just sort of keep going till you end up hitting, till you hit a bit of tarmac and get a little bit of traction. Once you get a bit of movement, it's not so bad, but it's, whoa, just got that little bit of traction I needed. Whew. I'm a lot happier about going back uphill than downhill because at least I've got a little bit of control now.
Too sketchy to get down that hill.
Yeah, way too sketchy.
Way
Oh, there you go. What he said.
I was sliding like a motherfucker then.
Yep, what he said. So yeah, the best thing to do here is not. So I'm nearly there.
So we're going to have to go a safer route.
Yeah, there is now options available to me when I get up here, because the road goes to the left and to the right, but to the right has a gentle incline slope. But I'm still not going to take it on the tarmac. I'm going to take it on the military track, which has gravel, because that is a much safer option.
Down the shallower angle.
Yeah. So in essence, folks, unless you really need to, as they say, don't take bikes out in the freezing conditions. It could end badly, unless of course you want to get YouTube videos, in which case do it.
Oh yeah. Definitely sketchy. Definitely sketchy. Oh yeah.
Oh well, this isn't so bad up here, folks. This is fairly easy now, and this will just ride all the way to the main road that's on this side of Market Lavington going to Salisbury. So yeah, we'll be alright now. We'll be alright. This is definitely much nicer. Yeah, we can handle this all day long. Never worked out what this thing is, but I've got a funny feeling it's water, and I wonder whether it's up there from the farmer to look after the animals. But I've seen vehicles connected to it. I don't know what they're putting in it, but I imagine it must be water. So that's how the farmer deals with looking after animals up here. But where's the animals? Well, there are some actually. There's cows nearby. But yeah, I've never quite worked out, you know, why you'd put that up there when you could have that at your farm and just drive a vehicle up there with water in it, you know. But that's another Salisbury Plain mystery. But there we go, folks. That's all we've got to show you in this video. That's about all. So thanks for joining us, and remember, don't like, don't subscribe, and don't endurosnowice.com.